Hey everyone, in this training exercise, I want to talk about having difficult conversations in the workplace. This could be with a coworker, a boss, a member of your team, or someone in another organization. Let's start with a scenario. We've all been there before. You're out on the job site for the day and you've got a hot job to get done, but you just can't find that tool that you need. You know your colleague Brad probably has it instead of putting it back in the truck like he said he was going to this morning. This is the second time in a week that this has happened, and you start feeling this frustration boiling up inside of you. So it's time for a difficult conversation between you and Brad. But before you break this one over Brad's head, let's consider together some steps you could take to have a productive and professional conversation. First, give the situation. Focus on the facts and be specific about what happened. Then frame these facts in terms of someone's behavior and not in terms of their character or their personality trait. Tell the other person what impact this had on you. This is very important. You could say something like, "Hey Brad, I wasn't able to get my work done today because I didn't have the right tool." Or, "I lost an hour on the job site looking for a tool." When people know the impact that it has on you personally, they're more likely to respond. Next, tell them the change that you'd like to see and why. "I'd love for you to put my tools back every time you use them. This will really help our team get our jobs done on time." And finally, ask a question. Ask them what they think. So remember these keys. It's a three-step pattern. First, stick to the facts. Don't make judgments or assumptions about the situation. Next, focus on the what, not the who. If people think that you are focusing on either their character or their personality, they're more likely to be defensive and they're less likely to change. Because frankly, we don't believe that we can change our personality, but everyone can change their behavior. And then finally, impact. Tie it to you personally. Let them know how it affected you, and people will be more likely to respond. Also, don't forget, check your own blind spot. Is the thing that you're talking to your colleague about something that they could also talk to you about? And keep those emotions in check. It's important in a professional conversation to have a level head um, and clear emotions. Okay, your turn to try. I'm going to give you a scenario in the next slide. I want you to read it and grab a pen and paper or write on your phone. Even better if you have a partner nearby, work with them to talk through this scenario and how you would respond. These are the questions I'd like you to answer. What's the situation? What's the behavior? What is the impact of that behavior? What's the change that you'd like to see based on this? And then how would you ask for their thoughts? All right, here's the situation. Why don't you pause the video for a couple minutes, read this over, and answer the previous questions. Feel free to go back and look at those if you need to. Okay, how'd you do? Let's debrief for a minute. Here's some questions about your answers. Did you stick to the facts rather than making judgments or assumptions of the situation? Did you focus on the other person's behavior and not their character or their personality traits? Did you say how it impacted you personally? Did you tell them the change that you'd like to see and why? And finally, did you ask for their thoughts? How'd you do in that conversation? These are simple skills and a simple pattern that you can follow, not just in the workplace, but at home, in your relationships, or any place where you're dealing with people where problems arise and issues need to be discussed. I'm confident that if you follow this pattern, that you'll have success in resolving those difficult conversations that come up in all phases of life. Take care.